everybody, Ronald Krijnenburg here from IntoDops, now part of Superb. And today I would like to tell you something which is pretty cool. I just came across this morning. It's something called an MCP server. So basically it is something which is put on the market by CData. And CData is this company which creates all these very cool JDBC drivers for a bunch of different databases and systems and APIs. And this is the MCP server. So what's MCP? MCP stands for the Model Context Protocol, and it's basically the UBC for AI apps. So it is a connectivity protocol which makes sure that whatever external app or system you can be integrated with AI, and that is done by means of MCP. And CData basically created an MCP server for free. You can download that via GitHub. In that case, it's only a read-only version. They also have a HANA beta version, and this HANA beta version you can download from their CData website, and that also has write possibilities. The cool part is this one is specifically for SAP HANA, so we're going to connect it to SAP Datasphere and see if we can fire off basically AI to the SAP Datasphere system. So this is one of my spaces called SAP and Partner Content, and it has a bunch of views which are imported by means of packages. So it's just demo content. And what I did is I created a database user, and that database user will be used to make a connection into the server on the CData side. So this is the MCP server. It's very simple. You install it and you add all the credentials. So in this case, I added the database user, and here are all the views which are basically for external consumption. So they're basically ticked in Datasphere. So it's automatically recognized. So this MCP server is automatically recognized once you install it. So you install Claude, and there's not much else you need to do. And then you can basically start off with firing of questions to the HANA database, to Datasphere. So what I'm doing here is I'm asking the system what type of views and tables do I have in my Datasphere system. Now what you will see is that it's a bit of a broad question, and what happens then is you get a very broad answer. So tip number one, you should basically ask smarter questions or smarter prompts in order to get quicker results. So in this case, it's going to the complete database schema, figuring out what catalogs do I have, what tables do I have, what views do I have. You can also live look at the coding it's actually using. It's asking for some authorizations along the way. That's the first time. So the first time you're actually asking the system Claude to run some analysis, you have to authorize it. So in the end, it will come back with a list of all the views, and what it will list here is basically all the views and tables which were made available for consumption in Datasphere, and also the standard schemas you get when you connect to HANA under Datasphere. So for instance, these DWC Global. So it found all my finance views and also the sales views. So what we will do next is we will try to analyze the sales order view. So I want to analyze sales orders. Again, pro tip, don't do it like this, because you will get a very, very, very extensive answer. And what the system actually will do now is it will query the view I have. So it figured out that it is the SAC sales order view I created, or basically SAP created, because it's a demo view. So that's already pretty good. So it knows which view it should take. And if we just jump quickly to Datasphere, there we will see that this view contains of a fact table, which is pretty normal, and also has some master data tables and associations. And that is used to to create the star schema. So we have business partner, a fact table, we have products, master data, and those are all associated in the end. So we get a nice cube-like model. So this is an analytical data set. This is deprecated. It should in principle be an analytical model. But for this test, that doesn't really matter. It's just that I would show you what type of results it gets. So again, I get a massive answer because I was silly enough to create a very broad question. So what it's actually doing is pretty impressive because it's creating a dashboard. So without me actually, I was expecting just some random stuff in the chat, but I'm actually getting a nice dashboard. It figures out that I want to see revenue, average order value, quantities, and also regions. It also created actually a filter in this dashboard. So if you look at the raw data, then we have basically a lot of key figures and fields. So basically the standard stuff. And it figured out that it could create a database, a dashboard on top of that. And it's also creating a version which I can publish on the web, which I will also do in the end, so that you can also play with the dashboard it created. So it's busy now with creating all the insights and all the content. And basically, this is the dashboard it came up with. So you can do a filter. Pretty good, pretty interactive, pretty nice. It works. So I think that's pretty impressive that it just generates a dashboard based on a very random question I asked. It also gave me the total revenue, average order value, top products, you name it. So now I just want to specifically ask a smaller question. So give you my top 10 orders in EMEA, largest value first. So from top to bottom. So basically descending values. And now it comes up with this list in the chat. It does this quite neatly. So 2.7 order, keep cycling, home run, millwork. So this is basically the demo content from SAP, the bike demo set. But it automatically works. I mean, the installing this piece of software was 5 minutes, maybe even less. And it just comes back with, it works. It just simply works, I find this pretty impressive stuff. So I was always playing around with these type of technologies back in the day. Early on when SAP Siri came along, I connected HANA to SAP HANA to Siri and created demos on top of that. And basically now it's a reality by just installing a piece of software for 5 minutes. It's mind-boggling how fast this stuff goes. So what's my best-selling product or unit? Product probably. It's probably a better way of saying it, if I can spell it correctly. And also that works. I like this stuff. It's working out of the box, and the sky's the limit, especially because you can also write back. So in principle, you could do some very, very complicated ML on top of this and write the results back into your HANA schema without coding. That's impressive. So now I do, as a final thing, I just want to figure out if it can do something a bit smarter than just giving me a top 10. So I'm trying, it's going to use some AI to give me an estimation based on historical figures, what my best-selling products and customers will be for the next upcoming 3 months, based on historical figures. So it would create some SQL queries in order to do a group by to figure out what are the top customers and top products, and take it from there. So it's going to start calculating again. Again, it's going to create a dashboard. So this is going to take a while. It starts off with figuring out what the historical data set should look like. So it creates a simple SQL. Now it's going to do some AI stuff. Now it's going to do some calculations based on the historical figures, I should say, and does a projection towards the upcoming 3 months. And again, without me actually asking the system or asking Claude in this case, it generates a dashboard for me, which takes some time, but the result is pretty cool. Just give it a couple of seconds and you will see that it's a pretty nice looking dashboard, which I will link into the notes of this YouTube. So almost done. Massive amount of HTML which is being generated at the moment. Pretty cool stuff. Almost done. Bear with me. Seasonal decline. Right, there it is. So it sees indeed a seasonality, because if you look, it's basically at the end of the year it figures out that there is some seasonal pattern there. So it has less orders in December. It has also using it's doing these AI-driven predictions, as it's calling it. I guess people want less bikes at the end of the year because it's getting colder. Probably makes sense, right? So prepare for December seasonal patterns. It gives me even some recommended actions. It shows me the declining trend. Follow-up questions would have been cool to figure out, okay, what's the reason for the seasonality? But that's for next time. Thank you very much for watching this. I will publish this artifact, put it in the comments, and talk to you later. Bye bye.